Welcome back. This week we are going to be reading the story Bear Snores On. This story is written by Karma Wilson and illustrated by Jane Chapman. Take a moment to tell a parent or a sibling what the job is of someone who writes the story. What are they called when they write the words of a story? That would be author. What does the illustrator do? Draws the pictures. Very good. This week, the story Bear Snores On, we're going to focus on the plot and what we call cause and effect. If you remember, plot is the events that happened in the story. So it's the meat of the story, what happened. And it includes the characters and the setting of the story. And when you think about cause and effect, the effect is what happened in the story, what happens. And the cause is what actually, why something happened. Something caused that to happen, and that's what you have to break down in the story. And it could be more than one thing as well. So we're thinking about why something happened, what caused it. So that would be the cause and effect, and that's our focus this week. So be thinking about that as we are reading the story. And let's think of some questions to start with before we even open up the book and look inside, and before we listen to anything. Looking at the book, what kind of book is this? Is it fiction or nonfiction? We call it the genre. So how do you know if it's fiction or nonfiction? Where is your evidence? Remember that the evidence is your proof. It's where in the story you found that answer. That would be either the pictures or the words or a combination of both. So when we are thinking about if it's fiction or nonfiction, take a moment to pause and tell someone how you know if it's fiction or nonfiction. All right. If you said fiction, you're correct. This story is fiction. And how do you know? If you said you knew that this was fiction because the illustrations are drawings of animals and not real animals, then that would be a correct reason. If you look at those pictures, they're not photographs, so they're not real animals. They are illustrations of them. They have been drawn by the illustrator. Now in this story, you're going to see that the animals are talking. Do animals talk in real life? No, they don't. That's another reason that you have evidence in the story. You will see that the animals do things that animals just can't do. So that is another reason, that's some evidence that this would be fiction. While you're listening to the story, make sure you make predictions and think about what you think might happen next and why. Don't forget to pause and answer questions and show with your evidence. These are good conversations to have with your family while you are listening to a story. Are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Everyone, Maya here from my storybook, and this week's Winter Wonderland feature is the sweet friendship winter classic, Bear Snores On. The animals in this story throw a spontaneous party with delicious snacks and a lot of friendly chatter, all in Bear's den while Bear snores on. Now, this book is also good for talking about animals and hibernation during winter time, and I love it when learning is made fun through children's illustrated books. Now, What happens when Bear wakes up to find all of these uninvited guests partying in his den without him? Well, let's find out. All right, my friends, let's begin. This week's featured storybook is Bear Snores On, written by Karma Wilson and by Jane Chapman. All right, so let's see. Who are some animal friends that you see here on this cover who are going to be characters in our story today? Yeah, I see. This looks like a bunny, and there are some different animals on this cover. I wonder if you know their names. This is a bird or a raven. A raven's like this black bird, like this one. Here's a little mouse, and this looks like a little mole and a badger right over here. Maybe like a gopher. And who's this? Our big bear snoring on. And I wonder, they're all like looking at him. I wonder what they're thinking and whispering. Do you think Bear is going to wake up? We'll see. I wonder what he'll do. All right, let's get started. Look at this wintry page. Look at all this snow. Kind of looks like a snowstorm outside. Really cold, huh? Here's our title page, Bear Snores On. In a cave in the woods in his deep, dark lair. So lair's like a cave where bears sleep. Through the long, cold winter sleeps a great brown bear. Do you see him? Yeah, there he is, hiding in his cave. Sleeping, right? Cuddled in a heap with his eyes shut tight. He sleeps through the day, and he sleeps through the night.
Remember that bears sleep in the winter. That's called hibernation. When we're thinking about the cause of a story, that might have something to do with Bear sleeping so soundly. It's winter, and he's sleeping in his cave. And that's what bears do in the winter time. They hibernate. Food is scarce. So they're sleeping, and they're sleeping very deeply.
So this bear's sleeping a lot. The cold wind howls and the night sounds growl, but the bear snores on. Can you make a bear snore sound? What does a snoring bear sound like? Yeah, like or maybe even louder because he's a big bear. Might sound like a growl, huh? So my friends, bears are actually animals that sleep all through winter. It's called hibernation. And hibernation, can you say that with me? Hibernation is when animals sleep throughout the whole entire winter. So that's a long time, right? But they sleep to keep their bodies warm, and since there isn't much food in the wintertime, right? You don't see many berries or leaves to eat. That helps them save energy. So it looks like our bear's hibernating and snoring. Let's see what happens while he's sleeping. An itty-bitty mouse, pitter-pat tiptoe, creep crawls in the cave from the fluff cold snow. Ooh, this little teeny tiny mouse. Can you make a little teeny tiny size like a mouse? Mouse squeaks. Too damp, too dank, too dark. So too wet and cold outside. So he lights wee twigs with this small hot spark. Looks like he made a little fire for himself, right? To keep him warm in the cold. The coals pip-pop and the wind doesn't stop, but the bear snores on. Can you make that bear snore sound? Woo! So it looks like the mouse lit a fire.
Since Bear is sleeping so deeply, that makes me think that a lot of these sounds and disturbances are not waking him up. The wind is howling outside, and the night sounds are growling, but the bear is sleeping. So he's very difficult to wake up. He didn't even wake up when this mouse came in and lit a fire. He didn't even wake up to that. So that tells me he's sleeping very deeply. Think about the mouse and where the setting of the story is. Where is mouse and bear? If you said they're in the lair or the cave, that is the setting. That's where the story is taking place. And why did mouse come in to the cave? If you said that the mouse came in because it was so cold outside and he wanted to warm up, then you're right. That makes sense. It's cold outside, it's winter, and the cave is a nice warm place for mouse to be. So that is an effect. It's cold outside because it's winter, and the effect is that causes mouse to come inside to get warm. So keep thinking about those causes and effects as you're listening.
And everything, but he's still sleeping. Two glowing eyes sneak peek in the den. Who is it, my friends? Mouse cries, "Who's there?" And a hare hops in. So a hare is another word for a rabbit or a bunny. "Ho, Mouse," says Hare, "long time no see." So they pop white corn and they brew black tea. So they cook this tea over the kettle. I love popcorn, do you? That's a cozy winter snack. Maybe you're munching on some popcorn yourself. That'd be a good reading snack, huh? So let's see. How many animals are in the bear's den now in his cave? 1, 2, right? 2 animals. Do you think bear woke up? Mouse sips, wee slurps. Hare burps, big burps. But the bear snores on. Ready? Bear snores. He just sleeps through everything, huh? A badger scuttles by. This is a badger. Sniff snuffs at the air. I smell yummy yums. Perhaps we can share? So it looks like he's smelling the popcorn and the tea. I've brought honey nuts, Badger says with a grin. Honey nuts. Let's divvy them up. Let's share them up. Cozy down and dig in. My friends, it sounds like they're kind of having a miniature party in the den now. What kind of foods do they have now? Honey nuts, popcorn, some tea. And now how many animals are in the den? 1, 2, and 3. 3 animals. Does bear wake up? Let's see.
What do you think? Do you think bear is going to wake up now with 3 animals in the den?
And they nibble and they munch with a true chomp crunch. But does bear wake up? No. The bear snores on. Bear snores.
Think about what you may believe will happen next. What's your prediction? Do you think that bear will wake up? Do you think that another animal might come into the story? Think back to the cover. Were there some other animals? Maybe one of them will come next.
Woo! A gopher and a mole tunnel up through the floor. Those animals live underground, so they're tunneling up. Then a wren and a raven flutter in through the door. And so these 2 birds are flying in from the sky. The raven's this big black one, and the wren's this little brown one. There's so many animals in the bear's den now, huh? Mole mutters, "What a night! What a storm!" twitters wren. And everybody clutters in the big, great bear's den. Ooh, my friends, now how many animals are there in the den? There were 3 before, and now 4 new friends came. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 animals in the den. Will Bear wake up now, do you think, with so many animals? I don't know. I think that might be kind of noisy, don't you think?
I heard some words that I wondered what they might mean. Think of the word mutters. Have you ever heard that before? What does it mean to mutter? Mutter means it's like another word for talking, like when someone says something. So when you are talking, sometimes you might talk in a very excited way. Sometimes you might just be talking in a way that words just come out. And mutter is just like another way of saying someone's saying something. And I know sometimes mutter could even be someone is like a little bit grumpy when they're saying things. They might mutter something. So that is what mutter means. And they also use the word clutter. They cluttered together. And that just means that they came together. Kind of like how when you come to the rug in a circle, that's a way that you can clutter together. So when you're coming close in together, and that's exactly what they were doing there.
They tweet and they titter, they chat and they chitter. So lots of talking and fun times. But does Bear wake up? No, but the bear snores on. Bear snores. Ooh. Wow, this bear can sleep through anything. In a cave in the woods, a slumbering bear, a sleeping bear, sleeps through the party in his very own lair. He's sleeping through a party in his very own home?
The word slumbering, do you know what it means? Slumbering is another word for sleeping. Pretend to be sleeping. Shh. A child is sleeping is another way you could say a child is slumbering.
My friends, look what's going on here. Do you think they're having a good time? What are they doing? Having like a dance party, it looks like. And look at the weather outside. What's the weather like? Really snowy and cold, huh? Hare stokes the fire, tends the fire and makes sure it's burning. And Mouse seasons the stew. Sounds like they're cooking something, huh? Maybe something.
When someone seasons something, do you know what that means? Think about when we talked about chefs or bakers. They use seasoning. Seasoning would be like salt and pepper. There's a lot of different kinds of seasonings, but season something that you cook with to make it more flavorful.
Party food, some party stew. Then a small pepper fleck, a small little piece of pepper, makes the bear. What do you think is going to happen if a bear sniffs up a little piece of pepper?
Okay, I think something different's going to happen. It doesn't sound like it's going to have the same effect that's been happening before. What would the cause be? Right now, something happened. Hare stokes the fire. Mouse seasons stew. Then a small pepper fleck makes the bear. Now, fleck. A fleck is just like a very small piece of something. So if it's a small pepper fleck, that's a little piece of pepper. Have you ever used pepper before? Have you ever smelled pepper? Think about that. It's floating in the air. What could that pepper do to change this story? Do you think Bear is going to keep on sleeping? Or do you think he might wake up? Let's see.
You think he'll wake up? Let's see. Ah! Achoo!
So what did that cause him to do? That fleck of pepper went in his nose, and he has a very big sneeze.
He blows and he sneezes and the whole crowd freezes. Can you freeze? Don't move. The bear might see you. Ah, my friends. What do you think is going to happen when the bear sees all of these uninvited guests? All these animals in his home that he didn't invite in? Let's find out. What are the animals doing? Yeah, they're kind of running away. And how do they look? How do they feel? Scared. I see one kind of hiding his head. And the bear wakes up. And
Look at Bear. Look at his face. Look at the way that he's standing. Does he look happy? Excited? Angry? Look at the animals. They look like they're trying to get away. They look scared.
bear gnarls and he snarls. He roars and he rumbles. Can you give me a bear roar? Roar! And bear jumps and he stomps. And bear growls and he grumbles. How do you think bear is feeling right now? Sounds kind of angry, right? Making all those bear noises. Huh. But look at bear now.
Look at Bear now. How do you think he's feeling and why? If you said you think he's upset, why do you think he might be upset? Think about what he was doing. He was sleeping, and what were all of the other animals doing? Were they having a good time? Yes. Do you think Bear might feel a little left out? I think so too. And I think that's causing him to be upset.
Wonder what's going on. You snuck in my lair and you've had all the fun. But me, I was sleeping and I've had none. No fun for Bear because he was sleeping. And he whimpers and he moans, oh, and he wails, and he groans. And the bear blubbers on. He's crying. Oh, why is he feeling so sad? 'Cause he missed all the party fun, huh? Oh, I wonder what his friends will say when they hear that. What do you think? Let's see. Mouse squeaks. Don't fret. Don't fuss. Look, see. We can pop more corn and we can brew more tea. So what is Mouse suggesting? What is Mouse saying that they can do? That they can have some more fun, right? That they can make more food and they can have their own party again with Bear? That's such a good idea. Bear gulps, Bear gobbles, and he sighs with delight. Then he spins tall tales, stories, through the blustery, windy night, when the sun peeks up on a clear, crisp dawn. Bear can't sleep. He's wide awake having so much fun, huh? Look at all the fun they're having. I wonder, what kind of stories do you think Bear is telling? What are some bear stories, you think? Yeah, those would all be super fun. Well, let's see. So Bear can't sleep when it's morning, but...
Now, before we go on, why do you think that Mouse offered to make more popcorn and more tea? Why do you think he did that? Tell somebody what you think. Was it because he was upset and he felt like he had missed out And his friends didn't want him to be sad, and they didn't want him to miss the fun. That's what I think. I think that Mouse felt bad that Bear was upset and wanted him to feel like he was a part of the party too, and to offer him food and drink and some fun things to do. Now Bear's telling stories, which he's really good at.
But what about his friends? Are they wide awake like Bear? No, what are they doing? Sleeping. So Bear's wide awake, but his friends snore on. Can we make a big snore for all the animals? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! That was such a loud snore for all those 7 animal friends.
Why do you think his friends are all sleeping? I think they're sleeping because they are so tired from having so much fun in the long nights they spent dancing and listening to stories and eating snacks. I think that caused them to be tired. And now Bear, who had been sleeping for a long time, is awake and they are sleeping. Now, tall tales. Bear is good at telling tall tales. Do you know what tall tales are? It's not stories that are tall. It actually means stories that are amazing or like very interesting. And Bear's really good at that.
The end. I wonder what Bear's gonna do while his friends are sleeping. What do you think? Yeah, maybe he goes back to sleep too. And here's the winter woods. All right, my friends, the end. That was such a fun winter story about Bear and all these animals that live in the woods and came to join Bear in his den. And they were having like a little winter party, huh? What was your favorite part in the story? Yeah. I liked snoring with the bear, and I liked how all the friends came together and they all brought different foods and they all shared their food and their drinks, right? And talked to each other and told each other stories. Sounds like these friends had a really good time. And how did Bear feel when he woke up and saw all his friends having a party without him? Sad, huh? But then how did Mouse fix it? What did Mouse say? Yeah, Mouse said that they could make some more food and that they could still have fun with Bear now that he was awake, right? That's so fun. So it's not.
What are some different kinds of foods and drinks that the animals had in the story? Take a moment to see what you remember. You can pause the button. You can go back and listen again. Did you say popcorn, black tea, honey nuts, stew? That's right. Rabbit and Mouse made popcorn and tea. Badger brought the nuts, and they all made the stew. Nice remembering.
Sounds like friends really like to all be included, and it's most fun when everyone is there having fun together, right? Right. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this winter read aloud, and it made me all ready for winter season and to snuggle up cozy with some of my own friends and have some yummy snacks and drinks. That's a good idea. Maybe you can read this again with some of your friends or with your family and have a fun little cozy night with drinks and snacks, just like these animals. By the fireplace, maybe? Ooh.
Okay. I want to go back and talk about cause and effect because that was our focus of this week's lesson. So, at the beginning of the story, it was snowing outside. And what were some things that happened because it was snowing? Think back to the story. What was happening?
All right, so let's see what this week's craft is.
Okay, so it was snowing outside, and we knew that it was winter, so that caused Bear to be sleeping. He was in hibernation, and it also caused something to happen. What happened? Did some animals come to visit? That's right. At first, Mouse came into the lair. He was the first animal that came into the story. After Mouse, did other animals come into the story? Yes. Can you remember who came in next? Did you say Hare, the rabbit? Yes. Rabbit came in next. His name is Hare. Do you remember who came in after him? That would be Badger. Then who came into the story? Do you remember? Next came Mole and Gopher, Wren and Raven. That's right, they came next. And what did they all do? Take a moment to share and recall what the animals did while Bear was sleeping. Now, something happened in the story that was a problem. Remember, stories sometimes have problems and solutions. And the problem actually is another cause. If you remember back, they were using the spices, and a pepper flack went up in the air. So Mouse was using that pepper, and it went to the air, and that something happened. What was the effect of that? Take a moment to tell someone what happened. Bear sneezed and woke up. What happened after he woke up? Talk about the feelings that were happening and tell us what happened. How was the problem solved? Do you remember what Mouse did to solve the problem? Tell someone what happened. If you said that Mouse suggested that they make more tea and pop more corn, you're right. And then what did they all do? Did the story have a happy ending? It sure did. Did you like this story? I love this story. Don't forget that when you're talking to your family about the stories that you're reading, that you tell us where in the story you found your evidence. It's really important that you know where in the story you're getting your information. It comes from the words and the pictures. A combination of both things gives you all kinds of answers to your questions. All right. Thank you for listening to the story. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be posting this video next.